Hello, my name is Ashley Fisher. I'm the Director of Natural Resources for the town of Mashpee. I'm here today to describe to you what has occurred in the Santuit Pond area and its watershed. Cyanobacteria, also called blue-green algae, are microscopic organisms found naturally in all types of water. These single-cell organisms live in fresh, brackish, combined salt and fresh water, and marine water. These organisms use sunlight to make their own food. In high nutrient-rich waters, high in phosphorus and nitrogen environments, cyanobacteria can multiply quickly, creating blooms that spread across the water's surface. Cyanobacteria blooms form when cyanobacteria, which are normally found in water, start to multiply very quickly. Blooms can form in warm, slow-moving waters that are rich in nutrients from sources such as fertilizer runoff or septic tank overflows. Cyanobacteria blooms need nutrients to survive. The blooms can form at any time, but most often in the late summer months or in early fall.
Yeah, cyanobacteria are kind of interesting in that they're the other word for them. They used to be called blue-green algae because they're blue-green phytoplankton. Then more properly they were called blue-green bacteria, and now the popular term is cyanobacteria. Same thing. The problem is right now is that because they're so competitive and so adapted to these environments that these bacteria, but you really need to think of them really more as phytoplankton because they require light, and most bacteria don't require light. They require light to live, and that they form blooms in ways that many phytoplankton do not. If we have warm years, we already know that we get ice out earlier, we get phytoplankton then can grow in our ponds and in our macroalgae in our estuaries can start growing earlier because they get better light penetration. It's all a light thing. So you think, well, it's warmer, isn't that causing the problem? Well, yeah, it is, but it's also the fact that they can start growing earlier because there's nothing impeding the light penetrating into the water column.
We've tended to see, after heavy rainstorms, an increase in the frequency of these algal blooms because all that fertilizer, all that nutrient that's accumulated on the roadway in these significant, short, heavy rainfall events that have become more and more typical as a result of climate change, those wash a lot of that nutrient load directly into the pond, provide a quick food source, kind of like a sugar high.
Health concerns associated with cyanobacteria blooms vary depending on the type of cyanobacteria, the route of exposure, and the amount of cyanotoxins present within the species of cyanobacteria. Ingestion is the primary concern, since ingesting even small amounts of cyanobacteria can cause gastrointestinal symptoms, while larger amounts can cause liver damage or neurological damage. Contact with cyanobacteria can cause skin or eye irritation. Inhaling water spray containing cyanobacteria can cause asthma-like symptoms or breathing problems. Small children and pets are more susceptible to these effects of cyanotoxins, and they're the ones we need to be concerned about around the water at Santuit Pond. Since 2008, the Mass Department of Public Health has recommended that individuals be advised not to contact the water when a visible scum layer is present. Citizens in Mashpee can also contact the Department of Natural Resources that does take weekly cell counts within Santuit Pond and other freshwater ponds in town. The first step any individual should take is, if they see a cyanobacteria bloom or a scum layer, to please avoid contact with water. If it's green, don't go in. Also pay attention to postings on the water. The Mashpee Department of Natural Resources and the Mashpee Department of Health will post an advisory when these cyanotoxin blooms reach above the threshold set by the Massachusetts Department of Health.